Did you know that Joseph Smith once attempted to raise a child from the dead and failed? So a year after the church was organized, Joseph Smith announced that a great and mighty work was about to commence. And on June 4th of 1831, thousands of people attended the conference to see Joseph Smith work miracles. And in a letter written by Ezra Booth, he states that during the conference, a dead body which had been retained above ground 2 or 3 days, under the expectation that the dead would be raised, was insensible to the voice of those who commanded it to be awake into life, and is destined to sleep in the grave till the last trump shall sound. And the power of God easily accomplishes the work which frustrates the attempts and bid defiance to the puny efforts of the Mormonite. In his own book, Mormonism Unveiled, E.D. Howe notes that the parents of the child were prevented from procuring medical aid by the elders of the church, because they believed that Joseph Smith would be able to restore the child. When Joseph Smith failed in his attempt, however, the father left the church. This story was also published in The Naked Truths About Mormonism in April of 1888. A man named Reuben P. Harmon shared a statement that he went to go see the dead child. The child was just 2 years old, and it wasn't breathing. He said when he felt his hands and his face, however, they were warm. Reuben said that he thought the child was under the influence of opium. And in the same newspaper, a man named Joe Miller shared his own statement. He said that he stayed all afternoon to see the dead child raised to life without being gratified. Another man named Henry Carroll said that sometime after Joseph Smith attempted to raise the child from the dead, Joseph Smith came out into the yard and said to the crowds that there would be no miracle performed that day because the people were so disorderly. Another witness, a Mrs. S.W. Hansen, said that the Mormons had drugged the child with the soporific, and that Joseph failed to restore him to consciousness because they had given him an overdose. Another statement from James Thompson said that the prophet failed to restore the child because they had been drugged. So from all 6 of these accounts, it sounds like the child was drugged for the purpose of Joseph Smith showing forth God's power, in that he was able to raise the dead. But it failed. Horribly.